Well, Griffin Logue did kick that last goal right on the siren, which pushed it out to the 3-goal margin. So really, it was within 2 goals for most of the game. But once...
And have a look at the game itself as far as the conditions.
Oh, exactly.
It was absolutely torrential rain there in patches. Blue sky and sunshine and then torrential rain. So it was... Yeah, I thought we had a good grand final.
Yeah, no, I wasn't disappointed. I thought it was a good bout for Subi.
21 scoring shots to 17.
Yeah,
so
it was...
They had their chances.
Yeah.
They didn't take... And in a grand final, you've got to take those chances.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And they played right into... It wouldn't have mattered how many Freo players were out there. The Peel team train now under Ross Lyon's game plan. That's what they need to train to. And you were kicking straight up in the air to no one. Is playing straight into that game plan, and that's what they did in the last quarter. They were just bombing it straight up in the air to 3 or 4 Peel players that are just floating around. And Luke Ryan, regardless of whether he should have played or not, he's becoming one of the best intercept marks in the comp. He just roves that half back line so well as a first year player. First year AFL player, and you were playing straight into his game plan, and eventually it gave him best on ground. He stopped so many goals that came through.
He really didn't change anything throughout the game as far as they kept bombing that ball in there, and he just kept doing the same thing from first quarter. So that's probably where Subi didn't make a change as far as how we're going to get this ball inside 50 to take better advantage. So whether or not that was a coaching thing.
Yeah, you talk about him being an intercept marker. I mean, he took 9 marks. He took more marks than anybody else.
In those conditions as well. So that's...
Only like 23 touches, 9 of them were marks. So, from marks and predominantly from intercept marks in defence. So that it's a big reason why he got best on ground.
No, that's it. And how's Sean Darcy's form? 74 hit-outs.
77. Well, he had 30 or something by quarter time. 20. I think it was 28 at quarter time.
Yeah,
which is unreal.
That is just phenomenal.
101 hit-outs to 23 was the total for the teams, across that game. So when
that's a big number for a game of football in general.
Just basically means you're not getting anything from the middle at all.
Yeah.
Every stoppage. How many stoppages would that equate to, obviously? So
that's massive effort. He will not play a game for Peel next season. He will be the Dockers' number 1 ruckman. You will not see him in a Peel jersey again unless he does something to really
stupid. That's strange. Before he got brought into the Fremantle team, there was a lot of argument about him not being ready, not being up to it, him being too young, physically not ready for AFL.
Oh, look, ruckmen do develop a lot later.
Like he belonged there.
Yeah, ruckmen do develop a lot later. The tall guys. One player as well was Tabiner, and as much as I do like him, I just don't think. I think he's a waffle player. I just don't see him as an AFL player. He either plays out of his skin and plays really well, but when you put a really good defender on him, that marking ability that he has, that he does in the waffle week in, week out, he just seems to lose it, and I just can't see him playing on for too much longer at Freo.
It'll be the difference with the level between the AFL to step up. They talk about it being absolutely golf, and that's probably where it is as far as good standout waffle player versus a pretty ordinary AFL player.
Yeah. No, and look, just there was mention as well for the VFL and the Sandful, because people are obviously a bit still upset about the AFL alignment with the waffle. Well, they've got it in the other states as well, and they were lucky to get away with the win. So Port Melbourne defeated Richmond 74-70 after a missed shot on goal. Now let me run through a few of the Richmond players that were playing in that game. We've got Griffiths, Menadue, Bolton, Lennon, Lloyd, Hampson, Batchelor, Conker, Marich, Markov and Miles. It's not a list of mugs. That's guys that frequent the Richmond team, and in other teams would probably be in their best 22. And they've got that 1-1.
They've been Freo's best 22, is what you mean?
Wow.
Well, they've got a footy card. I'm pretty certain of that. Yeah. So they're not fringes.
No, that's right. And the Port Adelaide team were defeated by Sturt 49-50. and they had the likes of Need, Gray, Archie, Lobie, Toompas and White. Now, I'm pretty sure White, Lobie and Gray played in the Port Adelaide AFL final against West Coast.
Yeah.
So
Archie's played throughout the year as well.
Yeah, so there's another list.
He's been a regular.
Yeah, that's another list of players that aren't marked. And yeah, so great effort. It just goes to show that it doesn't matter how many players you've got. And Donnie, I think you're the one that's brought it up numerous times. Is a list of a champion team will beat a list of champions every time. They don't have that camaraderie and all the rest of it. I mean, it was mentioned that Peel had trained at Domain and the Dockers affiliated players trained elsewhere, like at their normal ground. Yeah. So they didn't even train together.
At Cockburn.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I suppose that's part of the challenges for Peel is managing that. But Day wasn't a total bust for Subi. They won the reserves grand final.
They did. That was a good effort by the boys there.
Yeah, so they were just in front at every change in that one. They actually the first quarter was. Plenty of points scored. There was 59 points scored in the first quarter, 31-28 at quarter time, and just 5 points in it at 3/4 time. And South Fremantle didn't score another point in that final quarter. So the Lions did get a win there.
Yeah,
and Colts was another game of sort of lost opportunities. The Tigers kicking 2 goals 11 in the Colts grand final.
Yep.
Going down to East Fremantle, 77-23.
Yeah, I'm not too upset about Claremont losing, to be honest. But
I know you love the Tigers, don't you?
Yeah, no, not even a little bit.
Give them nothing.
But the other thing as well that I did think was funny, and I don't think you'd ever mention in I'd love to have seen what the odds were for this one. But first goal scorer, Zach Dawson. What would seriously, we need to get in touch with Sportsbet and find out what the odds would be for Zach Dawson to kick first goal in any game.
And, then take no further part in the game, basically, after that.
Well, that's the ultimate team effort by Zach Dawson, really. So
my day's done. I've hit the showers, tracksuit on. I'll catch you later. Give us my medal.
All right, and we did bring up on Facebook as well. Now, it was the farewell to Subiaco. It's the last Waffle Grand Final. There's no more AFL, there's no more Waffle Grand Finals. I don't even know if there's going to be Waffle games held at Subiaco. So
the last one is going to be the international rules game that's coming up later in the year. So that'll be the farewell.
Yeah,
that'll be the major event for the thing, and then
but it was a part of our history fell away there. We're going to have a new legacy start, but we did ask people to write into us and let us know their favourite Subiaco moments, and we had a lot of Swan Valley boys were quick to write in and mention that they absolutely towered up the Ellenbrook Eels in 2004 on that oval before the Adelaide Crows played the West Coast Eagles, and our good friend David Van Rolt and his daughter did design our logo for the Facebook page, so thanks again, Josie. But Devo was quick to pipe up and chime in that he soccered one left foot 47 metres out from the boundary at Subiaco Oval. How the hell he kicked that, I still don't remember. Not that he was measuring or anything like that, but he said it was about 47.2, and he's a right footer, and it was with the left foot, and he had to take the breeze and stuff into account.
Well, it was a long day. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, but
I'm not sure how Swan Valley fared afterwards in Subiaco, but I know some of the Ellenbrook boys put in a fairly large performance later on.
Yeah, it was
later on that night.
Well, the Crows put in just as good an effort as we did, to be honest. So
I don't think we stayed there for that. And we played it right the next day against Bullsbrook. So
that's
we're
it.
back to back up. So good effort by the boys.
Yep, no, that's it. Now I had a couple of favourite moments at Subi. My first one was last season. I got to take my boy to go see the Bombers, and we lost. We were woeful, but it was his first game, and the Freo members, to their credit, were fantastic, because we got former coach of Ellenbrook Eels, Matt Hatch, gave me his members tickets. We went and sat in the membership, and we watched ourselves get absolutely flogged, and it was Corey's first game of AFL, actually going to the game. And whenever we did kick a goal, the Freo guys were like, mate, you got one, giving him a high five and that. They got right around him. He was stoked. He loved it. But favourite moment was you, me, and the X-Ball and Chain when we went to watch Essendon versus Freo, and she got all excited because Matthew Pavlich kicked that goal with about 30 seconds to go, and then good old Sandy, like he always does, fed one straight down the throat of Matthew Lloyd as he kicked the winning goal, and we won by 4 points, and it was just a wonderful bus ride home.
The train ride was particularly interesting, as I recall.
Yeah, the good old...
There was more Essendon supporters on the train on the way home. I don't know if that says more about Essendon supporters than not, but the Subiaco's got some very fond memories for me. The Ashfield Primary School put us on a bus in the mid-'80s to go and see the state game, WA versus Victoria.
Yeah.
Out there, so that was my first experience out at Subiaco. But it's going to be a hard thing to replace, but I believe there's a lot of things that they're going to implement at the new stadium to basically transition a lot of things. Like I believe the Sandover metal walk is going to be incorporated into some way. The John Todd rooms, the Barry Cable, all the memorabilia. I think that's one thing. Subiaco, like anything, it does have a limit, does have a time frame, a lifespan, and look forward to seeing what the new venue can offer to us.
Yeah. I suppose for me, I mean, I never actually saw an AFL match at Subiaco. I saw an international rules match at Subiaco. My best memories are actually of the early days of the Western Force. When they were out of Subiaco. When they first started, they basically used to go pretty close to selling Subiaco out. I was part of the Blue Crew, which is the supporters group for the Western Force when they first started, and used to get down there and get rowdy, and actually got to be, as part of the Blue Crew, got to be part of the halftime entertainment during one of the games, and got to have a bit of a relay race out in the middle of Subiaco, and that was a lot of fun. So that's probably my best memories. Is probably from the Western Force days.
No worries. Well, look, we're going to go to a quick message in a moment, but if you're listening and you've got a favourite memory, hit us up on Twitter at the Sheds 885. We'd love to hear your stories about Subiaco Oval. I mean, we did mention earlier that the Ellenbrook Dockers, the girls, the inaugural side, they played before 3 games really, the 2 AFL women's and 1 AFL men's game. I mean, that's memories that are going to live with those girls forever. So, we'd love to hear from you. We'll be back in a moment.
What you hear on Community Radio is governed by the Community Radio Codes of Practice. The Codes of Practice cover matters relating to program content, including local content, news, current affairs, Australian music content, programs for children, and the responsibilities associated with broadcasting to the community. They also cover aspects of the community access and the participation in the operation of this service. Copies of the code are available from the Community Broadcasting Association website, which is www.cbaa.org.au.
This is In the Sheds with Albie, Brucey and Donny on VCA 885 FM, where the valley comes alive.
All right, you're back and you're listening to Albie and Donny and Brucey and Donny. Close enough. We're in the Sheds anyway, and we're on 88.5 FM where the valley comes alive, and you can get us on Twitter at the Sheds 885. Now, Perth Spirit, they had a pretty bad game this week. Donny?
Yeah, so they went over to Fiji. So the new team in the comp, the Fiji Drua, it's their first time in the National Rugby Championship, and they are proving to be quite formidable. And gave the Spirit a bit of a touch up. 41-5 was the final score, and the Spirit didn't score until the final minutes of the game through a Fijian player. It was Nasserini that got the try for the Spirit, but they've got to bounce back this week at home, I suppose. They've got to come back home and get back on the winners list. So they're 2-2 now.
But it wasn't just the game. Obviously, didn't go the way that we thought it would, or the way that we would have liked it to. But they've done some wonderful work, the Perth Spirit, which I think deserves a bit of recognition. When they headed over to Fiji, they took over a lot of sporting supplies for the young kids over there.
Yeah, they did. I mean, obviously, it's there is a bit of poverty and stuff around Fiji, and a lot of the blokes getting around with, playing the game, but they don't have the right equipment. They don't have football boots. They don't have any of that that sort of equipment, and the Perth Spirit obviously they've got a bit of a budget, and they actually got some blokes to sort of throw in some of their old gear and took it over there and donated it throughout that community. So great effort